Thank you all for taking the time to be here today while we introduce the Save a Casing program. We're excited about this program that will allow responsible gun owners to assist us in tracking their weapon in the event that it's ever stolen. In a few moments, Lieutenant Joseph Fox of the LMPD Criminal Interdiction Division's Focused Intelligence Unit will explain the program and how we'll go about using it to investigate gun crimes. But first, I want to thank the LMPD executive staff, city leaders, our community partners, and a special thank you to Next Level Range for their steadfast commitment in forming relationships and seeking out innovative ways to serve our community and reduce violent crime. Obtaining accurate information fast is imperative to a successful investigation, and the Save a Casing program will be a valuable resource in that endeavor. As the criminal element evolves, it is imperative that law enforcement stay committed to identifying those changes and work hard to develop innovative solutions to combat them. The men and women of the Louisville Metro Police Department do that every day, and the Save a Casing program is just another example of our commitment to public safety. Thank you. Lieutenant Fox.
Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Joseph Fox, J-O-S-E-P-H-F-O-X. I'm in charge of the Focused Intelligence Unit with LMPD within the Criminal Interdiction Division. So we're here today to talk about Save a Casing that Major Lacefield just introduced. This is a program that gives citizens a direct way to support public safety before a crime ever happens. This is the best of proactive policing and community policing in one. So what this is, the idea behind this is that when a firearm is reported stolen, if someone has participated in this program, they would have 2 shell casings saved, similar to like how you would do your car title. Your car title you're not going to keep with your vehicle, you're going to keep that separate. This is the same thing, just with a gun. So you would have 2 casings saved with your serial number, the make and model of your firearm. You would be able to turn those into police when you make a report, and that information would be entered into the Nobbin system where we generate leads for anything that is crime gun intelligence related. Citizens are encouraged to retain these from firearms that they legally discharge. So here in just a minute we're going to talk about Saturday's event where we're having a free opportunity to legally discharge those firearms and save those casings. This event is put on in collaboration with Next Level Range, and here in just a minute, James from Next Level Range is going to come up and speak. I want to extend our thanks to both him and his wife, Jennifer, the owners of Next Level Range. We asked around and found this range that was willing to donate the time and opportunity to use their range to start this program for our inaugural program. And this initiative is made possible through partnerships like organizations like Next Level. And for all the other ranges locally in town, we're looking forward to hopefully partnering with you guys in the future. Would love to hear from you guys to be able to do that and bring this program to you all. The benefits of this program, having ballistic data on file, again, the Major just spoke about that just a few minutes ago. Having this ballistic data on file is key to generating quick and accurate information, generating leads when we have things that are related to violent crime, to homicides, to shootings, to things that precipitate those, drive-by shootings where no one struck. This is not the first iteration of this program. Wichita, Kansas was the first city. Wichita Police Department was the first agency to do this. We've spoken with them at length about how best to put this program on and some of the successes that they've had. And they reported back to us that this really aided in generating those investigative leads and building stronger relationships between law enforcement and the community when they've had these Save a Casing events. So this Saturday, September 27th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Next Level Ranges, that's here. The address is 11,800 Electron Drive, just off of Blankenbaker Parkway. We're going to be having our first Save a Casing event. What we're asking for the community, for responsible legal gun owners to do, bring your firearms in. We'll have some rounds available to be able to hand out for folks to be able to use on the range. We'll have some folks acting as spotters to be able to point out which cases are discharged from their weapon, as well as the envelopes that they can take with them. Now, I want to be very, very clear about this. This is not is not a tracking system or database for legal gun owners. This is not a tracking system or database for legal gun owners. We are not taking anything with us. We're not taking any shell casings. Even if folks offer shell casings, we're not taking those with us. So gun owners would take those, store those separately, and then in the event that they ever had a firearm stolen, they could then turn those in when they're making the police report. In addition to the event on Saturday, again, the range time is free. There's no cost for folks that are coming in and doing this. We're going to have some great giveaways like this Streamlight Speed Locker, as well as some other gun locks. Unfortunately, too often in our city, we've seen instances where children have gotten a hold of guns, and there's been some tragedy. So in addition to this being a proactive policing strategy for leads, for law enforcement leads, this is also a gun safety program. So that I want to make sure that you guys understand that, the media especially. This is a gun safety program, so we're going to have some great giveaways, hand some of these safes out, and with that, I will turn it over to James, who's got a couple things to add on. Thank you.
I'm James Nave. I'm the owner of Next Level Ranges. We're really excited to be part of this this event today, or this weekend, helping people to be able to safely have their firearms found if there was a problem with them. We would take safety very, very importantly here. We really want to be able to make sure that if something happens, we're able to find them in the future, and helping the LMPD is great, for us to be able to do. So, thank you.
Can you spell your last name?
Nave is N-A-I-V as in Victor, E. Thank you.
So at this time, I'm going to bring Lieutenant Fox back up to answer your questions, and then we'll do the demo.
Now listen, before we get, you go first. The most important question, Saturday at noon, is an away game for the greatest football team in this area, okay? I'm talking about the Cards. So in addition to this range that they've got here, you guys will have an opportunity to go see the restaurant next door. They got really good food over there, and I think they'll probably have the game on Saturday. Yes, they're shaking their head yes. So Cards by 50, go Coach Brom. Go ahead, sir.
Can you talk about legal discharge and what those opportunities are? I know obviously Saturday is that, but what are some other ways of legal discharge?
So legal discharge, the question was talking about opportunities of legal discharge, and I would ask you to expand on that a little bit. Are you talking about in terms of specific to the program, or are you talking about just in general? Okay, so just in general, legally discharging a firearm, all right? We live in the city. Obviously, we've got an issue, especially on New Year's and the 4th of July, with folks shooting celebratory gunfire. So that would be something that would be considered illegal discharge, right? So legal discharge would be at a range. They're within KRS what's defined on, hunting land and different vast areas, even if you're not hunting but target practicing on what you would be allowed to do that's legal. So obviously at a range here where it's safe and there's all these different safety measures put in place, this is an opportunity to legally discharge your firearm, which for the folks that that shoot their weapons, they know costs a little bit of money to come to a range, and so that's one of the big deals about this program. And we're very appreciative of James and his wife Jennifer and Next Level to have this opportunity for free for several hours to be able to fulfill this program.
Knowing that LMPD has been pretty straightforward with concerns you all and challenges, should I say, you have in getting tips from the public when it comes to any of your investigations, how confident are you that lawful gun owners will come forward and participate in this new program?
So the question was in regards to us having challenges getting crime tips. Did I accurately surmise that? Okay. And so our thought of what are our thoughts on how likely will we be to succeed on getting lawful gun owners to come and participate in this? Again, I want to stress, this is not a tracking system. We're not asking name information. We're not asking any of that for this event. This is a community-oriented event where we're asking folks to come in. You lawfully own your firearm. I think the question will be, hey, do you want to enter for a chance to win one of these? Or, hey, where do you fit in the line for one of these great items? That's part of how we're going to get people out here, hopefully, is giving away free stuff. But also, really imparting on those lawful gun owners. Nobody wants to have their gun stolen, right? Nobody wants to think about that. Accidents happen. Now with firearms, it's a very serious accident when accidents do happen. But we see all the time the number of cars that are left unlocked, and folks who think, you know, I know I locked it. I know I locked that car, right? Well, sometimes things happen, and you know, in those instances, this is an opportunity for those folks to really help get the leg up, right? And reporting your gun stolen is something that helps to counter some of that liability, right? Like if your gun is stolen and it's used in a crime, but you've reported it stolen, you've shown that you're trying to do what's right. And so this program is another way to supplement that.
What would you consider to be a successful, I guess, integration of the community into this program? I know this is the first year, but what are your expectations going into this?
So going into this, obviously, is getting the message out there. Folks can do this on their own. They can save their own casings and hand those in if their firearm is ever stolen. Very important that they store those separately. But you know, going into this, I think our hope is that one that we push out. Lock your guns up, lock your cars up, lock all those things up where guns are taken. When we have that happen, which it's still going to happen, then this is another means to investigative leads and investigative information that if someone has participated in this, that this would help to generate a lead, right? That if we get a gun that's stolen and a week later it's used in a drive-by shooting, we may already have investigative information because we know where the gun was stolen from because somebody turned in casings and we were able to link those two things together.
And as a follow-up, what went into the decision to choose Next Level Ranges as opposed to a location more central to the city? Is it just availability of what infrastructure was around, what works with what you all wanted to provide? Why not somewhere closer to where a lot of crime may happen?
We very much hope that all the other ranges in town see this and call and reach out, and we would love to have this program at their range also. Based on availability, this was, and our time constraints on when we were trying to implement this program, this was the option that we had available to us. So we really strongly encourage all those other ranges in town, if they want to set this program up, we would love to do another iteration of this there, and we're hoping that it's something that's very successful. But we need the community to partner with us for that to be a success. We're not going to be able to do this on our own.
Could you talk a little bit about the role of the casing as an identifier and why it would be used as opposed to just a serial number on its own?
Sure. So the casing acts like, when a casing is discharged from a gun, the casing acts like a fingerprint for the gun, is probably the simplest way to put it. So when we collect fingerprints at scenes, or in this case shell casings, we can link those to other things where fingerprints are left behind. So if we have somebody who has, essentially marked their fingerprint on something that they're holding on to in the event that it's ever taken, then they can turn that in to us. And so then when we get to the first scene where a stolen firearm is potentially used, then we would already have that fingerprint on file that it would link back and say, this is where that gun was stolen from, and maybe we've got some surveillance footage, or maybe we've got other cars that were broken into that night, and we've got other descriptors of suspects that are involved in the theft.
And why having something beyond just a serial number to identify a stolen gun?
Can you rephrase that for me?
Sure, yeah. What's the importance of having an additional identifier as opposed to just a serial number? Are those kind of getting scratched off, not as reliable?
We're not seeing, so the question was the importance of the casing and the ballistic evidence that we get versus just a serial number on a gun. So I think, trying to make the analogy here of if I'm leaving my fingerprints on a scene somewhere, that's going to be critically important to be able to link versus if I'm in a location, my social security number came with me, right? Which is kind of like the serial number. We hate to think of that way, but that's kind of what it is. And so we don't want to think about that way, but the serial number shows up and then it leaves, and we don't know that. But the fingerprints are what's left behind. So that's the most critically important piece.
Do you have any data from Wichita, who has initiated this program, in terms of how many leads it has generated, how helpful it has been in solving crime?
We'll work on quantifying that number specific, because I don't want to misspeak on that as far as the numbers. The question was related to Wichita and data on how successful this has been. In talking with their sergeant and lieutenant who helped to implement this program in Wichita, they were singing the praises of this program. And this was their idea that they came up with this, very creative idea. And they have said that this has generated several leads where they were able to link those things and have that early evidence before we end up with a violent crime and we're going off of, nothing at that point. They've got something already in the system.
Is LMPD the second to roll this out, or are there more across the country?
There are several other agencies that are doing this. This is a relatively new thing, though, and each agency is a little bit different in how they're implementing theirs. Ours is very much likened to Wichita's in that, it's a public campaign. We also want to make sure that we push gun safety at this. And a lot of the folks who are coming to this, these responsible gun owners, they're already going to have a lot of those ideas in mind. But this is an opportunity for somebody that's maybe a little bit on the fence, or maybe things are a little tight for them, that there's a free opportunity and we've got the free giveaway to help to facilitate some of those things.
Is this open to people outside of Jefferson County?
Yes, it is. The question was, is this open to people outside of Jefferson County? This is open to people outside of Jefferson County. This is all NIBIN backed, so that's the National Integrated Ballistic Information System, and that's a lead-generated system that's only used if there's a criminal predicate for something to exist. And so our regional NIBIN system would encompass other areas outside of Jefferson County.
Anything else?
Next level will be donating also to your raffle. We'll give away a couple of class vouchers for training classes.
Awesome. That's awesome. So if you guys didn't hear that, Next Level is going to also pitch in some classes. They've got a great training facility next door, great classroom. You guys can see that. So I think from here, if there's no other questions, Sergeant Chenault and the Firearms Investigation Squad and some of the other folks from the Focused Intel Unit are going to do a demonstration, walk you through what this looks like, how this works. So we'll head on over to the range next door.
Eye protection and hearing protection right now. All right,
Let everybody get a zoom in, because this is what we're looking for. This is the information. It's the make, the model, and the serial number of the firearm. So we'll have time. We'll do another 2 rounds. Is everybody set?
Could they do them not at the same time so we could focus on each one?
Okay, so we'll do and we might do it a couple times so they can get like a close-up of the casings going in. We can do it again. We'll do it again. Yeah.
Am I in your way?
Good.
I got another one. 3, 2, 1. Are we good on that?
Thanks for having me.
Got it one more time.
He's nervous.
That camera got it.
Yeah.